So often I hear it said that we need a hero, some sort of leader to save us from all of this just messed up society that we live in. And I just kind of shake my head when I hear people say this to me, and I just don't understand, because what I tell them is that they only need to seek the nearest mirror. That's you right there. You need to seek the nearest mirror, and you recall that hero that's been waiting for you to show up. You. This can't happen by you just hanging at home, sitting on the couch, complaining about things, saying somebody needs to do something. You are somebody. You are somebody. Be somebody. This is up to you. I can't do this. Chris can't do this. But you know what? All of us can do this. The key is right there in your hand. All you have to do is open your hand and realize that you have the power to change this. This isn't rocket science.
The Constitution was designed to be used for our use, for the betterment of ourselves and our lives. It wasn't meant to be used against us. That defeats the whole purpose of it.
No, the Constitution was set up to outline the parameters of the authorities that were granted to the central government. Nothing more, nothing less. It clearly spells out what their powers are. Their powers are not through the EPA telling a welder in the western part of Wyoming that he can't build a stock pond on his own property. Are you kidding me? Where was this federal government ever granted permission to dictate what we do on our private property? It never was. And yet, here they go, trying to do that. Now, thankfully, that case against the man down at Bridger Valley was dismissed. But he was threatened with fines of over $37,000 a day. Could you imagine what that would do to a person? That would destroy them. And honestly, that's what the EPA was attempting to do, is destroy that man. To tell him what he could or could not do on his own personal property. That's not in the purview of the federal government to be deciding. It was all approved. His stock pond was all approved through the state and local county. And yet I was afraid for many months in reading about this travesty, really, that I was going to wake up one morning and find that the federal government had assassinated that man, much like they did Lavoy Finicum in Oregon. A man that was just speaking out, much like I am right now. And there's times I fear for my own life for speaking out against the federal government. And if that isn't tyranny, I don't know what is. Because I do have the right under the First Amendment to speak my mind, to demand that my representatives listen and to hear me.
We've gotten away from exercising, much less even understanding, our own rights. The gravity of what we as citizens were invited to participate in. But here's the thing, again, we were given an opportunity and the provisions are provided for with that opportunity. But again, it is our responsibility to make sure that what we seek, we end up seeing. And we've gotten pretty lazy in that department. We've got people that are bought and paid for that are representatives. We've got a large number that come from urban areas, from the larger populated areas where the votes come from, and the decisions that these people are bringing to the table and forcing upon us have nothing to do with anything that we want, anything that we need, or anything we'd ever agree with. So the only thing we can do is to take back the positions that these people have and do things the way it was provided that they be done. That people from this state, that we know in this state, that we trust in this state, get together to decide with the people in this state how things are done here. And if we began to do that, maybe other states could see that that's what they need to do. I don't have a problem with all these different views that people have on different issues, but there's a time and a place for each of them, and none of them are important enough to infringe on other people, no matter what they are. So the way things are done, they need to be done that way, where people in those states can not only understand it, they can agree upon it, and they can discuss it with people in their state. We can't go to Washington, we can't talk to the president, but we can make sure that we have people who are running this state the way we want it ran. And that is our responsibility, and we have the power to do just that. It's been provided for it. Again, we just are not exercising our rights.